Dr. Rashana,
Okay.
and I am a family doctor, a family physician, and I see babies, kids, adults, everyone from all the way to the end of life. And
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to become a doctor actually to help people, as simple as that, and to give back to my community. I did grow up in North Minneapolis and am excited to come back to serve the community. I wrote an essay when I was in eighth grade to that I wanted to come back and work in my community to get a scholarship. So that's my story.
I too am a family doctor, and it's interesting. Before I decided to become a doctor, I was certain I was going to be a carpenter. Um, and I went to a math and science program at Howard University when I was in the 10th grade, and they asked us to figure out what we wanted to do with the rest of our life or as a career. And so I thought about it. Well, I do like carpentry. I also like science. Um, I like working with my hands. I like helping people. I like teaching. So I put all that together. I said I'll be a doctor, and that was it. Story was written, and so that from that decision forward, just kind of kept going, and then eventually became a doctor.
Good answers, and nice to meet you all. It's my first time ever doing this, so I'm kind of nervous. And my second question is, where did you go to college?
I went to college at Tennessee State University, which is in Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
It is a historically black college or historically black university. Um, I'm gonna give you more information than you may have asked for. It was founded in 1912 on the shores of the Cumberland River, and but it was a great school, and I enjoyed every moment of my experience there. And yeah, and it was wonderful to go to Nashville to spend that time. Yeah.
And I'll just add, I went to college right out of high school, and also went to a historically black college, Hampton University in Virginia, founded in 1868, originally as a trade school for Native Americans and African Americans, and then became a full university later in life. And then after college, G and I both went to medical school, and so I went to another 4 years of school in Maryland, and then came back to Minnesota.
I went to medical school in Cincinnati, and then did some additional training in residency. We both did after that.
My dream is becoming a policeman or doctor one day.
Hmm.
So yeah, just basically gotta follow your dreams.
You do.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's great. I work with a doctor, a family doctor, who was both a policeman and a doctor. He functioned as a doctor with on the police force, and would help train them if they were to become kind of injured or had injuries in the field. Um, so yeah, you can do both. It's
Yeah,
wonderful.
that's really cool. Awesome.
Well, thank you, and I will for sure follow my dreams.
Great. And are you sure this is the first time you've done this?
Yes.
I don't think so. I feel like you've done it a bunch. It was great.
It was really great. Yeah. And I'm glad you guys are acknowledging educators as well, because both Dr. G and I are teachers. And if you're a police officer, you're a teacher. And anything you do, you can be a teacher and teach others to walk in your shoes and follow their dreams.
Hello, I'm Araya Taylor, and I'm in fifth grade here at Loring, and I have a question. Why did you choose to work at North Point?
And I chose to work at North Point for a lot of reasons. I wanted to work in an area similar to one that I grew up in. Um, I did not grow up in Minneapolis, but grew up in the Maryland, DC area. And when I was But my wife, she did grow up in Minneapolis and North Minneapolis specifically. And so I wanted to work in an area similar to one that I grew up in and work with people that were similar to those, like myself. And I chose North Point because it has a commitment or has had a commitment since its founding to really being of service, and had a commitment to the community and that it sits in the middle of, and that really fit well with what I felt my life was meant to do in terms of being of service and helping people, and that's why I chose to work at North Point.
Thank you, Araya, for the question. I chose to work for North Point, similar reasons as Dr. Gilliam. Like I said, I've wanted to be a doctor since I was 4, and for some reason never deviated from that. So I think it was just meant to be. And again, I grew up here and wanted to give back. But when I became a doctor, I didn't realize I wanted to do even more than just see patients in an exam room. Wanted to have a broader impact and on people. And so I had an opportunity to come to North Point and work as a doctor, but also work as an administrator, like writing policies and talking to other people in the community, like politicians, and collaborating with community. And so there's so much you can do as a doctor, including seeing patients. So that's some of what led me to North Point.
I actually, since I was really, really little, actually wanted to become a doctor for a long time, and I still want to become a doctor.
That's
wanna-
awesome.
Good.
I want to become a children's doctor for like little children.
Excellent. We it is hard work, but it definitely is something that I think with just continuing to do things, and like Dr. Price-Isuk mentioned, she's wanted to be a doctor since she was 4. I made the decision a little later in life, but I think once you decide there's something you want to do, you set your mind to it, you can do anything, and that's
Mhm.
great.
That is, my biggest influence in becoming a doctor was my own family doc. And he used to always tell me, you don't have to be a genius to be a doctor. You just have to work hard. And he always encouraged me that I had a great personality and I'd work well with people. And don't let people make you think it takes too long. Everything takes long these days. So it'll go before you know it. So stick with it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.